He was arrested at the age of 14 for a crime he didn't commit and wasted almost a decade of his life in prison until the real criminal came on the scene.
Basically, going outside cost him his life.
It was in the headlines, it was in the press, and I think the police felt a lot of pressure to solve it and solve it quickly.
One day like any other, Davontae walked out of his home, not knowing that this would be the worst decision of his life.
Going outside cost him his youth, cost him his innocence, cost him everything just by going outside.
However, as with any crime, the police needed to find a culprit to close this brutal and bloody case.
Quadruple homicides don't happen very often. It is a very major crime.
Unfortunately, the presence of an African-American child near the crime scene was their perfect bait.
They convinced themselves somehow knew something about this crime. Bingo, close the case, no muss, no fuss.
Just like that, and without any precedent, little Davontae began to live a nightmare that ended up costing him 9 years of his life. In September 2007, Davontae was at home with his mother when he heard siren noises and a lot of commotion near his house.
You said don't go. He did. And then the nightmare began.
The innocent child approached the scene out of curiosity. A brutal murder had been perpetrated, ending the lives of a woman and 3 men. Seeing him alone, the police saw it as an opportunity to close the case without having to invest their time into solving it, and after asking him a few questions, they took him to the station.
For reasons that I cannot possibly figure out, the police decided that he had something to do with the murder and interrogated him that night without an adult present.
Davontae had to endure hours locked in an interrogation room while he was pressured to say what the cops wanted to hear.
It's not a matter of he walks in and says, hey, I'm going to make up this false story. It's the police relentlessly, hour after hour, will tell the person, we know you did it, we know you're not saying it, you're not telling the truth.
La psicología tiene investigaciones respecto a lo que se llama influencia social, cómo la presencia directa e indirecta de otras personas influye tus pensamientos, tus ideas, creencias, es decir, lo que ves. Pero si hay una mayoría de personas que impone sus criterios o trata de influirlos, eventualmente podrían cambiar sus circunstancias. Por sobre todo si hay una condición de poder.
However, they never imagined that within 2 weeks of convincing Davontae, Vincent Smothers, the real perpetrator, would appear, confessing to 12 crimes, including the horrific event in Detroit. But once again, the authorities ignored the information to avoid exposing their malpractices, forcing the child's family to fight for 9 years for his release.
Now I would like to take the time to reunite with my family and try to get my life back on track, you know. I'm not about to play the blame game.
After his release, all the authorities involved in the case were suspended for life, seeking to prevent their negligent actions from robbing another minor of their innocence again, as they did with Davontae.
I never been to homecoming, never been to prom. Like, I still don't know how to drive, you know, like.
Despite all he had to live through and all the time he lost, today Davontae feels optimistic about life and seeks to be an example for thousands of young people.
Keep fighting. Don't give up. You know, like, you gotta stay strong mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And if you know you're in prison for something you didn't do, just don't roll over. Don't roll over. Don't give in. Don't let them break you.